number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County in the last 24 hours is 1,479, with 31 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 35 additional cases were reported, with 1 new death. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Bella Shaw. It's Thursday, October 7th. Pfizer and BioNTech asked the U.S. government to allow them to provide vaccinations for children ages 5 to 11. The company shared the update early this morning, writing that they have formally filed its application with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The FDA will decide if there is enough evidence showing the vaccines are safe and effective for the younger children. An independent expert panel will publicly debate the evidence on October 26th. Research showed that after 2 doses, the 5 to 11-year-olds developed virus-fighting antibody levels just as strong as those who are currently vaccinated with adult-level shots. But Pfizer is also pushing for these kids to get a 3rd dose as well, as studies emerge showing the vaccine's efficacy drops after a few months. Pfizer studied the lower dose in more than 2,200 volunteers ages 5 to 11 and did not detect serious side effects. If the FDA authorizes emergency use of these kid-sized doses, advisors to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will take over and decide whether to recommend the shots, and the CDC will make a final decision. A couple of real-world studies are taking a deeper dive into the Pfizer vaccine and its effectiveness. Both studies confirm that the immune protection offered by the 2 doses of Pfizer's vaccine drops off after about 2 months, but protection against severe disease, hospitalization, and death remains strong. The studies are from Israel and Qatar and published in the New England Journal of Medicine. The study from Israel looked at 4,800 healthcare workers. Researchers noticed antibody levels rapidly declined after the 2 doses, especially among men, those 65 and older, and those with immunosuppression. The study also revealed that immunity for people who get vaccinated after recovering from COVID-19 lasts longer. A second study from Qatar looked at actual infections among the highly vaccinated population in that country. They found protection against infection builds rapidly after the 1st dose, peaks in the 1st month after the 2nd dose, then gradually wanes from there. The waning appears to speed up after the 4th month, reaching an effectiveness level of about 20% from then on. Still, protection against hospitalization and death stayed above 90%. Researchers noted that the waning protection may involve behavior, as vaccinated people presumably socialize more with others. They also warned that a large portion of the vaccinated population could lose its protection against infection in the coming months and increase the potential for new surges. The studies back up ongoing public health measures to mask up indoors and maintain other safety protocols. The number of people getting booster shots is now surpassing those who are getting their initial doses of a COVID-19 vaccine. On average, close to 385,000 boosters are being given each day, while only about 281,000 people are getting their 1st dose, and roughly 293,000 people are becoming fully vaccinated every day. Slightly more than 56% of Americans are now fully vaccinated. The country is averaging more than 101,000 new cases a day, 41% less compared to the Delta-driven peak period. Hospitalizations are dipping as well, but public health experts say nearly 70 million people are still unvaccinated in the U.S., and if they don't get the shots, we are at risk for future surges. As colder weather arrives, medical experts say it's important to get both the flu shot and the COVID-19 vaccine in an effort to avoid adding to an already strained healthcare system. A county-wide vaccine mandate takes effect in L.A. starting late tonight. Anyone ages 12 and over attending a large-scale outdoor event in L.A. County with 10,000 or more people must show proof of full vaccination against COVID-19 or a negative test taken within 72 hours. They must also wear a face covering at the events regardless of vaccination status. This includes concerts, college and pro football games, and theme parks, such as Six Flags, Magic Mountain, and Universal Studios Hollywood. Six Flags Magic Mountain officials said the requirement would be applied, quote, on certain designated days. According to the park's website, those days are Fridays through Sundays in October, which coincides with the Fright Fest Halloween attraction. Six Flags announced a partnership with the Clear Health Pass app, which allows users to upload their vaccination information and a photo to help speed up the process. And Universal Studios Hollywood plans to verify vaccine and test results based on theme park attendance. In addition to large-scale events, anyone working or visiting an indoor bar, brewery, or nightclub in LA County will have to show proof of at least partial vaccination against COVID-19. Proof of full vaccination will be required beginning November 4th. The new county health order takes effect at 11:59 p.m. New laws signed this week by Governor Gavin Newsom will help community college students transfer into Cal State and UC campuses more easily. Governor Newsom made the announcement from Cal State Northridge yesterday. The new laws are part of a $47.1 billion higher education package and will also boost financial aid and housing assistance for students. Assembly Bill 928 requires Cal State and UCs to establish a general education transfer process for lower division students that identifies and expands the specific courses required. And Assembly Bill 111 requires a common course numbering system across all community colleges to make sure that a student doesn't take excess units to transfer. Cal State Chancellor Joseph Castro believes the legislation will dramatically increase the number of transfer students into the Cal State system by providing a clearer pathway, especially for underrepresented students. According to a 2020 report from the Public Policy Institute of California, about 19% of community college students with the goal to transfer do so within 4 years. The legislation comes after community colleges nationwide face a significant drop in enrollment during the pandemic. Cruising culture is slowly returning, and the Majestic Princess will now call Los Angeles its new home when not at sea. The 19-deck, 1,083-foot ship that's 224 feet high sailed into the port of Los Angeles this week to get ready for its first West Coast trip. Dignitaries were on hand to celebrate the occasion as more than 1,000 crew members prepared the 143,700-ton vessel for passengers. The cruise ship plans to only fill up to 70% capacity, a new health and safety protocol due to the pandemic. And before passengers can board, they must show proof of vaccination for at least 14 days, and they are required to present a negative COVID test taken within 2 days of the trip. Fun fact, the Princess Cruise Line is also known for its co-starring role on the hit TV series The Love Boat, and frequently sailed with the show's cast members and guest stars from the port of Los Angeles to the Mexican Riviera. The upcoming trip is a 3-day voyage to Ensenada, Mexico. New jobless claims took a dramatic fall for the first time in nearly a month. According to new data released by the U.S. Department of Labor, close to 326,000 people filed for the first time last week. That's down 38,000 from the previous week. And while the number of Americans receiving benefits is still roughly 2 times more than pre-pandemic levels, the number of continued claims fell from 5 million to about 4.2 million last week. Economists say the Delta variant of the coronavirus did impact the job market recovery. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is slated to report the unemployment rate for September. Those figures will be released tomorrow. According to the Labor Department, there are still 8.4 million people unemployed in the U.S. The Biden administration announced plans to make dramatic changes to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, a move that is being praised by many. U.S. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona says borrowers who devote a decade of their lives to public service should be able to rely on the promise of the Public Service Loan Forgiveness, the system that has not delivered on that promise. He says that's all about to change for many borrowers who have served their communities and their country. The new changes will allow borrowers with federal direct loans who make 120 qualifying monthly payments while working full-time for a qualified employer to have their balance forgiven. Qualifying employers include any federal, state, local, or tribal government and nonprofit organizations. A limited time waiver will also be offered so that student borrowers can count payments from all federal loan programs or repayment plans toward forgiveness that were not previously eligible. These changes, along with an expanded communications campaign, will help affected borrowers to learn about these opportunities and encourage them to apply. The Student Debt Relief Program includes people who work in the public sector, including education, the armed services, public transit, first responders, infrastructure, health services, and public service departments. Both of this year's Nobel Prize winners in chemistry share roots in California. Benjamin List was born in Frankfurt, Germany, but many of his discoveries were made while he was at Scripps Research Institute in La Jolla. And David W.C. Macmillan, though born in Scotland, got his doctorate at UC Irvine and did a lot of his groundbreaking research at UC Berkeley. He and List won the top honors for finding a, quote, ingenious and environmentally cleaner way to build molecules. It's an approach that is used now to make a variety of compounds, including medicines and pesticides. The two men's work has allowed scientists to produce molecules more cheaply, efficiently, safely, and with significantly less hazardous waste. A member of the Nobel panel says it's already benefiting humankind greatly. List works at the Max Planck Institute in Germany, and Macmillan teaches at Princeton University. They independently reported their findings first in the year 2000. The new tools have been important for developing medicines and minimizing drug manufacturing glitches, including problems that can cause harmful side effects. As we wrap up this week, be sure to tune in to Weekends in Torrance on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right here on Citi Cable, beginning at 2 p.m. On Friday, we'll tell you about a local church that's launching an Afghan resettlement ministry to help those in need who fled the war-torn country. Find out how the church is training its volunteers, teaching not only compassion, but also understanding the trauma these people may be faced with, and how the Torrance Church is helping. Then on Saturday, as many continue to head back to the office, Rhiannon Tritanich and Popeye share tips and best practices on ways to make your pets feel safe and distracted while you're away at work. And on Sunday, as Southern California's weather allows for year-round beach visits, the new Beals safety system is now in place and designed to keep the public safe and alert beachgoers when a major disaster strikes. Weekends in Torrance kicks off tomorrow at 2 p.m. You can watch it on Spectrum Cable Channel 3, Files Channel 31, or stream it on our website as well as on YouTube. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community. Pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Well, with recent events in Orange County, where an estimated 144,000 gallons of oil spilled, impacting beaches from Huntington to Newport, has left sea and shorebirds in danger, coated with oil and other hazardous material. And the California Department of Fish and Wildlife's Office of Spill Prevention and Response is hoping the community will help with cleanup efforts, as 1,500 volunteers are needed by the end of the week. State officials are asking for anyone who's available to be trained and dispatched to help sign up online, while paid staff from various agencies have been deployed to pick up tar balls and clean the oil off the more than 6-mile shoreline. More help is definitely needed. To volunteer, go to calspillwatch.wildlife.ca.gov/volunteer. What a great way to show how we care for our community. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday as Leslie Robbins brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.